Hey guys, welcome back to the Paragon Podcast, where we talk about video marketing. We have Steve Weber back with us today. We're going to talk a little bit more about about marketing in general, and we'll kind of get into the weeds of it all. So it's really fun. So stay tuned. Would you say videos on your website are more important than social media, at least so that way you have an SEO reach there? Or do you think having the social media presence is a bigger deal?
It's all a big deal. And unfortunately, people don't have an endless supply of money to, be on every platform. But a social media presence is really important. And if you're not doing a social media paid campaign, at least keep your organic content up to date and doing something regular, at least once a week, maybe twice a week. Posting some organic content, some just to your social media, but it's all important.
Okay, cool.
Have you found certain types of videos work better than others?
I think the informative how-to videos work great because people are always looking for new content. Now, I mean, it depends on the industry you're in. I've got a restaurant down in Texas. I've got a little waffle of restaurant. And what people are looking for there is what's new. They're looking for the newest waffle that we produce, or they're looking for influencers that are talking about this place or that place. Influencers are a big deal these days. They all think that they're more valuable than they really are, but the influencers make a big difference because it's just like a Google review. It's just like an Amazon review. People like to know what other people think about a product or a service. And again, I work with all different industries, and I worked with one of the largest healthcare providers. I'm going to be really careful about how I say this, but I did marketing for one of the largest healthcare providers in the state, and they had a urologist that had one Google review, and it was a 1-star review. Oof. And if you dug down and you drilled down into the actual review, it said, if I could give you 0 stars, I would. Now, that's typical for any type of business to have a review like that. But if you've only got one review and it's a 1-star review, that'll kill you. And so, it's really important what other people think of you. So these influencer ads are a big, big deal. Even though people know that they're getting paid for that spot, it makes a big deal to see somebody else really show some enthusiasm for a product or service. So I wouldn't discount that type of video either. Yeah,
for sure. So, that's a big deal.
But Google reviews are really important to Google too. And if you want to show up in a Google search up high, you really need to build those reviews up. If you've got 10 reviews, they're all 5 stars, that's great, but you can get those from your family and friends really quickly, and people know that. You want to drive those Google reviews up to at least 50 to 100. Where they know that they're actually coming in from legitimate sources. The nice thing about Amazon, it says, verified buyer. That doesn't happen in a Google review.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you probably also want it similar to social media consistently, right? If your last review is 2 years ago, that also probably doesn't help you.
And again, nobody looks at that, and you might look at that, but Google definitely looks at that when the last review came in. And if those reviews are spotty and you get a big chunk of reviews all of a sudden and then you don't get them for another year, that looks suspicious to Google, and they think you're buying reviews, and that's a no-no. So I always recommend a good review management program and method of gathering Google reviews on a regular basis. If your staff is not asking for reviews and saying, hey, if you like what you got here, please leave us a review. Those things are really important. That type of dialogue is really important with a client.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I feel so bad now because I feel like I go to any store, anything, and I buy a product, and they're like, please leave a review. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I never do. And now I feel bad. That
everybody's asking for them, but, it really helps them out. And, if you get an HVAC service or a plumbing service, after the service, you'll probably get hit up with a review request from a text message or something. But companies really sink or swim when their reviews are being looked at. I mean, if you've got a dentist out there that's got 500 reviews and you've got another one with 5 reviews, you're going to take much more. You're going to give a lot more credibility to the 500 review dentist than you are the 5 review dentist.
What about video testimonials? I guess reviews during that way. Does that do better than just a regular like comment or review on Google?
Yeah, it does. But again, you take those reviews with a grain of salt.
Always.
Because it's like, did you get free service for that testimonial? But again, it's somebody giving. Usually a good example of where the service provider went beyond the call of duty to take care of them and help them. That's if you've got a client that you really went the extra mile for, and they'll give you a video review. You grab it. You grab it if you can, because that always looks great. 3 or 4 video reviews or video testimonials on your website would really boost a website in
cool.
Google's eyes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's
I didn't know
really
that.
important. Oh yeah. But it'll also help, if anybody clicks through to your website, then they can see reviews. If you had a tab that said, video reviews, people will click on that because they want to hear what other people have to say. That's the first thing people look at on Amazon is the reviews. They don't read the details about the product. They look at the reviews. And so those video testimonials are huge.
Cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
The last kind of thing we've touched on a lot of stuff here today. It's been awesome.
Well, I hope I've been, articulate enough to understand what I'm saying.
No, yeah, I think it's been awesome. It's a good overview of like not just video marketing, which is mostly what we talk about, but all of marketing in general. And kind of what I've taken away is a lot of what we preach is consistency, and that's kind of what you say in all phases of marketing. It sounds like.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can't do one thing for a month, then bail out and come back to it a month later, or 2 months later, or 3 months later, and do it again. You need to be consistent in whatever you're doing. I don't care what it is. Do it for at least 3 or 4 months in a row. Make sure that you're there. I mean, if you're on a billboard and somebody's driving by on the freeway and they catch 3 seconds of your ad and they can't see it anymore, I'll catch it the next time I come back, and you're not there the next time they come back, then it doesn't do you any good. Same thing in a magazine. You want to be in a magazine for a few months in a row, or you want to be on TikTok for a few months in a row. You want to be there when people are looking for you, because they'll go back and look again if they're interested in what you've got. They just didn't have time to look up your phone number, whatever, the first time, but they were like, hey, we really do want to, redo our backyard. We really do want to put that new deck in there. Let me go back and try to find that person before, well, it's not there anymore. And so anyways.
I think I find that interesting, because one thing you said that I think a lot of people need to understand is consistency, but also information on the website and on your Instagram and any social media platform. Because a lot of people are wanting to create these cool, funny commercial ads, and it's almost like that billboard, right? They pass it, they're like, oh, that was cool, but then that was it, and they come back and it's not there anymore. Yeah, because they're not creating consistent information.
They're not being consistent,
and so they're like, oh, this video is going to work, and then when it doesn't, they just think, oh, this isn't going to work, but they have to be consistent. And so I like the fact that you said that information and providing the most information in your industry is like one of the biggest crucial things.
Well, and I would say this, and after listening to you restate that, be creative. Be creative. I mean, don't think that just getting in front of a camera and being monotone is going to work.
Yeah.
You've got to be fun. And you guys create a lot of fun videos. I see there's a local marketing company here that years ago, and they still do it, but they're a lot more expensive now than they used to be. But they put out these half-hour long commercials, and they were so creative, people would hang and watch the whole thing all the way through. And even at the end, they'd look into the camera and say, are you still here? But the commercial was so creative that they kept people hanging on longer and longer and longer. That's what you kind of need to do, keeping in mind people have short attention spans. Keep it fun, keep it creative. I just did a print ad for a customer who does 3-day kitchen and bath remodeling. And that's a very unique offering that nobody else in the industry does a custom remodel in 3 days. And I told him, I said, let's put a heading up above, "We'll save your marriage." And he's like, "Oh, can we do that?" And I said, "Sure, let's just have some fun with it." And that's the thing, is it's like, what's your big selling point? Well, your marriage is going to survive this remodel. And so we put that up there, and it's okay to have fun with the advertising. People, that'll catch people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be too much of a stick in the mud when you're advertising.
Cool.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I had one more question to go through.
Sure. You can hit me as many as you want.
Yeah, we might be here a while now, but which is fine. Enjoy it. But with kind of, I feel like there's been a big change in Google lately and all search engine stuff just with AI, because Gemini is kind of like your first top result always now. It's like, honestly, like half the page that comes up now is a Gemini thing.
Right.
How do you feel that's affecting marketing, and where do you see marketing going with AI being such a big push from all the tech companies now?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, that's why I said we might be here a while, and so and we can break that up.
I have not gotten into it too deeply with my clients, but AI is a big deal, and there are ways to make sure that you're showing up in those AI searches. So when you're going to ChatGPT or Gemini or any of these others, and there's a lot of them, that you're showing up, that you're at least your information and your website are associated with those AI
sources.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Whatever. I'm old.
You're good. You're good.
AI.
I think new. Everyone's new.
Well, that's the thing, is it's new for everyone, and kind of what I've been trying to research on it personally. And what I've found is you want to be that expert in your field somehow, on your website specifically, because then the more that ChatGPT, the more that Gemini can find you, it's going to keep pumping you up in the sources, and it gives the link to you and stuff. And
right. And Gemini is associated with Google. So if you're doing Google, you'll be fine with Gemini. But from what I understand, you can now start doing the same sort of thing with these other AI sources, that you can actually show up now in a search because you're paying. Just like a Google campaign, you can do a ChatGPT campaign, I believe.
Okay, cool.
I think that's coming. I think that's what I'm hearing. But it makes sense, because they need to monetize that too, and that's how Google monetizes, is because people know people are looking. They know people are looking on their search engine for people like me or people like you, and so they want to monetize that. And the same thing goes for all the other AI search engines too. They'll be monetizing it too. So,
cool.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, it's just kind of it's the logical progression, right?
Yeah, right.
They've made it a free thing for a while that there wasn't money behind it because they wanted to prove, hey, look at this great source, look at this. But eventually they're going to monetize
Everybody
it. They're
going to
put money behind it. And all you have to do is pay some money, and then all of a sudden you're showing up in every Gemini result, basically.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it makes sense. And so it's kind of sad that it works that way, because I like the sometimes unfilteredness of it. But
well, I feel like sometimes when I put in an address in a Google map, I get rerouted out into some weird route, because Google wants me to go buy certain companies instead of go the fastest way. I go through all the companies that are paying them money. So anyways, but no, I feel like we are directed to do things that we might not ordinarily do because of our search, and also just our the way that we look at social media these days. If I'm looking at remodeling, going back to doing something in my backyard, if I'm looking at backyards, or if I'm lingering on these posts about somebody doing something creative in their backyard, then I'll get more and more of those things. The feeds, the things that show up in my feed are based on my digital footprint. And if I'm lingering on certain ads, or if I'm searching Home Depot, or if I'm looking in their garden on their garden site at Home Depot, then I'm going to start getting more and more of those types of posts in my feed. And again, that's just, I jokingly say that the NSA has nothing on the marketing guys in the world, because we know what people are looking for. We know what people are searching, and that's how we drop that's how we help you get traffic, is we're dropping your videos into people's search feeds. We're dropping your ads into different places where people are looking. If you're doing a pay-per-click campaign, we make sure that we dial in as best we can your ideal client. And so we know if they're looking for a deck and patio and you sell deck and patios, we want you to show up in the top 3 results. And so if you're doing a pay-per-click campaign, you will. Those ads at the top of the page are sponsored ads, and you're paying to be up there. But actually, you're not paying to be up there. You're paying to be clicked on.
Yeah.
If they click on your ad and go to your website, then you pay for that click. And depending on how competitive that word is that people search, the more expensive that click is. And so there's a lot of fun ways to get in front of the right people. And we have lots and lots. We'll find your audience one way or the other. That's the great thing about digital advertising, is we'll find your audience.
That's awesome.
They have put themselves out there. They've identified themselves through the cookies they've accepted and all of the fun things. We've unfortunately Google knows who you are and where you are, and they'll drop an ad in your lap when you need something. So,
yeah.
Anyways.
Awesome. Well, thanks.
Was that something we should cut out? Was that something that?
No, that was awesome.
I loved it, actually.
That was. I think that was
telling
the perfect
the secrets
ending
of
here.
marketing. So
no, that's what we want. I mean, I tell everyone, if it's on the internet, you might as well be the one saying it.
Yeah.
And so that, like, all that's there in pieces, right? But like, I love the succinctness of that, and just that's a great lead into how marketing is. And so if someone took
marketing
that,
has changed so much in the last 30 years. In the last 5 years, things have changed. And you really need to, if you're not making a strategic effort to find the clients that you're looking for, your competition is going to blow you out of the water. There is somebody in your industry that's doing a better job than you are. And so you've got to always be looking for that new and innovative way to get in front of the people that you want to attract. And video is it right now. Video is the way to do it, because I can tell my story so much better in a video than I can in writing, or I can on my website in a paragraph. Video is just the easiest, cleanest way to do it. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Steve. This has been a
my
great
pleasure.
time with you. And so if you want to let the audience know how to find you and stuff, that'd be an awesome end for us.
You can go to my website at advertisingutah.com, and you can get a hold of me through there.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. Again, Paragon Podcast, where we talk about video marketing. Today we got into a lot of other marketing stuff, which is awesome. So follow us for more. Thanks.